In last session, we have learned about the global market. In this session, we will continue to study how to enter into the global market. Companies typically start with export, specifically indirect exporting. That is, they work through independent intermediaries. Domestic-based export merchants buy the manufacturer's products and then sell them abroad. Domestic-based export agents, including trading companies, seek and negotiate foreign purchases for commission. Cooperative organizations conduct exporting activities for several producers, often of primary products such as fruits or nuts, and are partly under their administrative control. Export management companies agree to manage a company's export activities for a fee. Companies may eventually decide to handle their own exports. The investment and the risk are somewhat greater, but so is the potential return. Direct exporting happens in several ways. Domestic-based export department or division. A purely service function may evolve into a self-contained export department operating as its own profit center. Overseas sales branch or subsidiary. The sales branch handles sales and distribution and perhaps warehousing and promotion as well. It often serves as a display and customer service center. Traveling export sales representatives. Home-based sales representatives travel abroad to find business. Foreign-based distributors or agents. These third parties can hold limited or exclusive rights to represent the company in that country. Successful companies adapt their websites to provide country-specific content and services to their highest potential international markets, ideally in the local language. Finding free information about trade and exporting has never been easier. Here are some places to start a search. Many states' export promotion offices also have online resources and allow businesses to link to their sites. Licensing arrangements vary. Companies such as Hilton and Marriott sell management contracts to owners of foreign hotels to manage these businesses for a fee. In contract manufacturing, the firm hires local manufacturers to produce a product. Finally, the company can enter a foreign market through franchising, a more complete form of licensing. The franchisor offers a complete brand concept and operating system. In return, the franchisee invests in and pays certain fees to the franchisor. A joint venture may be necessary or desirable for economic or political reasons. The foreign firm might lack the financial, physical, or managerial resources to undertake the venture alone, or the foreign government might require joint ownership as a condition for entry. If the market is large enough, direct investment offers distinct advantages. First, the firm secures cost economies through cheaper labor or raw materials, government incentives, and freight savings. Second, the firm strengthens its image in the host country because it creates jobs. Third, the firm deepens its relationship with the government, customers, local suppliers, and distributors, and enabling it to better adapt its products to the local environment. Fourth, the firm retains full control over its investment and can develop manufacturing and marketing policies that serve its long-term international objectives. Fifth, the firm ensures its access to the market in case the host country insists the locally purchased goods must have domestic content. Rather than bring their brands into certain countries, many companies choose to acquire local brands for their brand portfolio. Strong local brands can tap into consumer segment in a way international brands may find difficult. A good example of a company assembling a collection of local jewels is Sammy Miller. From table 8.1, we could see that there are globally standardized marketing pros and cons, while companies are deciding on their marketing program. Increasingly, shared needs and wants have created global markets for more standardized products, particularly among the young middle class. Consumer behavior may reflect cultural differences that can be pronounced across countries. And Hofstede identifies 4 cultural dimensions that differentiate countries. Individualism versus collectivism. In collectivist societies, the self-worth of individual is rooted more in the social system than in individual achievement. High collectivism, Japan, low in United States. High versus low power distance. High power distance cultures tend to be less egalitarian. High Russia, low Nordic countries. Masculine versus feminine. This dimension measures how much the culture reflects assertive characteristics more often attributed to males versus nurturing characteristics more often attributed to females. Highly masculine, Japan, low Nordic countries. Weak versus strong, uncertainty avoidance. Uncertainty avoidance indicates how risk-averse people are. High avoidance, Greece, low Jamaica. Because of all these differences, most products require at least some adaptations. Even Coca-Cola is sweeter or less hibernated in certain countries. Rather than assuming it can introduce its domestic product as is in another country, a company should review the following elements and determine which add more revenue than cost if adapted. From table 8.2, we could see that McDonald's allows countries and regions to customize its basic layout and menu staples. In cities plagued by traffic tie-ups like Manila, Taipei, Jakarta, and Cairo, McDonald's delivers wild fleets of motor scooters. Some products cross borders without adaptation better than others, and consumer knowledge about new products is generally the same everywhere because perceptions have yet to be formed. Many leading internet brands such as Google, eBay, Twitter, and Facebook made quick progress in overseas markets. From figure 8.3, we could know that Warren Keegan has distinguished 5 products and communications adaptation strategies. Street extension introduces a product in the foreign market without any change. Product adaptation alters the product to meet local conditions or preferences. Flexible manufacturing makes it easier to do so on several levels. Changing marketing communications for each local market is a process called communication adaptation. If it adapts both the product and the communications, the company engages in dual adaptation. Product invention creates something new. It can take 2 forms. Backward invention, reintroducing earlier product form will adapt it to a foreign country's needs. A big hit in developing markets in Latin America, Mexico, and the Middle East. The powered drink Tan has added local flavors like lemon, pepper, and soursop. Although its US sales have fallen precipitously, its worldwide sales doubled from 2006 to 2011. Forward invention creates a new product to meet a need in another country. Less developed countries need low-cost, high-protein foods. Companies such as Quaker Oats, Swift, and Monsanto have researched their nutrition requirements, formulated new foods, and developed advertising to gain product trial and acceptance. Companies have 3 choices for setting prices in different countries. Set a uniform price everywhere. PepsiCo might want to change $1 to Pepsi everywhere in the world, but then it would earn quite different profits rates in different countries. Although this strategy would make the price too high in poor countries and not high enough in rich countries. Set a market-based price in each country. PepsiCo would charge what each country could afford, but this strategy ignores differences in the actual cost from country to country. It could also motivate intermediaries in low-price countries to reshape their Pepsi to high-price countries. Set a cost-based price in each country. Here, PepsiCo would use a standard markup of its costs everywhere, but this strategy might price it out of markets where its costs are high. A different problem arises when one unit charges another unit in the same company. A transfer price for goods is shipped to its foreign subsidiaries. If the company charges a subsidiary too high a price, it may end up paying higher tariff duties, though it may pay lower income taxes in the foreign country. If the company charges its subsidiary too low a price, it can be accused of dumping, charging either less than its cost or less than it charges at home in order to enter or win a market. Various governments are watching for abuses and often force companies to charge the arm's length price, the price charged by other competitors for the same or a similar product. Many multinationals are plagued by the grey market, which diverts branded products from authorized distribution channels either in-country or across international borders. Often a country finds some enterprising distributors buy more than they can sell in their own country and reshipping the goods to another country to take advantage of price differences. As companies develop global supply chain networks and move production farther from home, the chance for corruption, fraud, and quality control problems rises. Sophisticated overseas factories seem able to reproduce almost anything, name a popular brand, and chances are a counterfeit version of this exists somewhere in the world. Figure 8.4 shows 3 links between the seller and the final buyer. In the first, the seller's international marketing headquarters, the export department or international division, makes decisions about channels and other marketing activities. The second link, channels between nations, gets the products to the borders of the foreign nation. Decisions made in this link include the types of intermediaries, agents, trading companies, type of transportation, air or sea, and financing and the risk management. The third link, channels within foreign nations, gets products from their entry point to final buyers and users. Distribution channels across countries vary considerably. To sell consumer products in Japan, companies must work through one of the most complicated distribution systems in the world. Another difference is the size and character of retail units abroad. Large-scale retail chains dominate the US scene, but much foreign retailing is in the hands of small, independent retailers. Government officials want to strengthen their country's image to help domestic marketers that export and to attract foreign firms and investors. Marketers want to use positive country of origin perceptions to sell their products and services. Governments now recognize that the images of their cities and countries affect more than tourism and have important value in commerce. Foreign business can boost the local economy, provide jobs, and improve infrastructure. Image can also help sell products. Global marketers know that buyers hold distinct attitudes and beliefs about brands or products from different countries. These perceptions can be attributes in decision-making or influence other attributes in the process. If it's French, it must be stylish. Coca-Cola's success against the local color brand Jenny Blau in China was partly due to its symbolic values of US modernity and affluence. All in all, there are many to consider when a company is deciding whether or not to tap into a global market. Next time, we will continue our lecture by talking about brands. Thank you.